Welcome to the show. Oh, wait a minute. Oops, the camera isn't set for me. It's set for the Capitolist, Brian Burgess. That guy's like a foot taller than me. Can we fix this, Sam? Yeah, here we go. All right. How's that? Okay, 3, 2. Oh, good. There we go. Sorry about that. Let's try this again. Welcome to the Capitolist. I am the producer of the show, Ann Howard, filling in for our fearless leader, who apparently can be taken out by the flu. Because he's gone, Brian does have a few things he wanted me to talk about today, so we're going to start with this. Candidate for Florida Governor, Republican Ron DeSantis, finally made his announcement in Florida. It was actually a really sad turnout. However, that's a lot more people than Rick Scott had at his announcement to run for governor in 2010. Brian Burgess was a member of that campaign team and gave us this behind-the-scenes picture from the Rick Scott 2010 announcement. Wow. So something tells me Ron DeSantis would prefer to do it like Rick Scott, if he could, rather than have to pretend he likes Florida or the people who live here. Brian had another item he wanted me to talk about, but I'm going to save that for him. He's at home sick, so he can't stop me. I'll give you a hint, though. It's a Chris Latvala joke. And now that we all have that, there's even more reason to wish for Brian's safe and fast return. All right, so now that we have the soapbox just for me to myself, I would like to take this unexpected opportunity to declare the opinions and jokes of Brian Burgess are not necessarily shared by me. 9 out of 10 times, we usually don't agree, but you may be wondering, then why work for the Capitolist? That's a fair question. For the record, Brian Burgess is a pretty great guy, and I agree with him or not, he's actually quite hilarious. And this job, well, it beats working. With that disclaimer, I'd like to go a step further and make some statements and possibly jokes of my own. First, I want to start with Gwen Graham, who, by the way, does have a father named Bob Graham, but she is actually her own person with her own name. Gwen Graham, candidate for Florida governor on the Democrat side. I think she's running a pretty great campaign, for the record. There have been some mistakes. This one being the biggest. Whoever on the campaign team suggested this is a great idea, stick your hand in there, should immediately be removed. Moving on to Adam Putnam, for the record. I love Putnam's hair. Let me explain. Here's a picture of the most handsome boy on earth. Yes, this is my son, and as you can see, he's a redhead, which results in me having a bias for gingers, as Brian likes to call them. But more than Putnam's hair, at this point, I see the governor's race as being Putnam's to lose. He isn't flashy, he isn't a loudmouth. I view him as a solid Floridian with a lot of civic pride, and I also view him as a patriot. He's got that blue-collar feel to him, too, which is important to me and I think a lot of other voters. He's been in this race the longest in terms of Republicans, and he's never been cagey or secretive about it, which is indicative of being straightforward and a straight shooter. Also good things. I didn't realize how much I liked Adam Putnam until recently, though, when I watched him punch back. And not only did he take a swing, he made contact. Let's go to the 2018 press skits. The voices you're going to hear, first, Peter Schorsch speaking to Adam Putnam, and then my boss, Brian Burgess.
Do you agree or disagree? Jimmy Petronas needs a haircut.
Well, according to Brian Burgess, yes. I need a haircut.
No, I got to make fun of something. Thank you for being a good sport about it.
Well, according to Brian Burgess, yes. I need a haircut.
Now, doesn't that feel kind of good, Commissioner Putnam? Hey, you've been really quiet today. Well, I think you nailed it. I have nothing to offer. It was perfect. Funny how that works, isn't it? Coming up next, we have mega lobbyists Katie Webb and Chris Dudley to tell us more about the complicated issue of assignment of benefits. Why do you care? Because if lawmakers don't do something to stop the bad actors taking advantage of the AOB process, it's literally going to cost you and me. Plus, they give us their picks for winners. Stay with us. We will be right back after this break.